So this is the Innovation World Tour, session 2. And we have a really amazing group of speakers and people coming from all over the world to showcase their latest tech in identity. And to start off, we have James McLean from Thales. And so James is joining us from Canada. So James, take the stage.
Yeah, thank you, Mishka. I'm going to just present my screen. There we go. And this is our, I'm really excited to talk to you today about our new Thales fingerprint scanner, the Cogent multi-fingerprint scanner CS500F. It's a 10 fingerprint scanner that in a 442 type. So it's the latest device from Thales. It's the first one actually out of our former Greenbit team that joined us about 1.5 years ago. So just at a first glance, it's a fairly compact device. It enables, as I mentioned, it's a 10 fingerprint scanner offering very fast and superior acquisition. We've implemented USB 3 technology with the device. It supports various formats. We have, it's FBI certified with Appendix F. And we have an optional fake finger detection. It's a machine learning algorithm. So it's using AI functionality to detect fake fingers. So I'll go into that a little later in the presentation. And the SDK comes with that as a multi-platform SDK supporting Windows, Linux, and Android. So there are various applications for the CS500F. We're targeting at civil identification, and that's both on enrollment as well as for verification. So for things like voter identification or for foundational ID programs, it's an excellent fit for those environments. We're also seeing a growing need in the commercial space in banking for know your customer, and as well for enrollment for things such as e-passports, e-IDs, or visas, and of course border control and law enforcement for background checking. So I'd like to highlight a bit on which is a bit of an emerging market is around the financial sector. As we're seeing the financial sector moving into more of a digital environment, they still have issues with being able to ensure regulatory compliance to the various regulations such as anti-money laundering, and as well as fraud for things like account takeovers. So the use of a biometric device at a branch where somebody could come in and provide their fingerprints and then match to that person that has been previously enrolled allows for greater security and as well prevents account takeovers and identity theft. Border control is another growing space where we're seeing the use of 442 fingerprint scanners, such as the CS500F, at manned border stations, but as well as more and more immigration and border control authorities are moving to an automated sense, whether through kiosk or gates, the need for a very solid, compact device it becomes very important. And in this case, particularly when we look at unattended applications, some of the key features are around being able to, for ease of use for a untrained user, as well as being able to detect potential spoofing or fake fingerprints. And then, of course, a lot of law enforcement use cases with respect to booking systems, as well as criminal background checks. It supports, in addition to flat fingerprints, using rolled fingerprints to be able to acquire those and provide those to an AFIS system. Now, I'm not going to walk through all the various features and things. At this point, I'd like to show some of the actual device that I have with me. I'll just turn the camera. Let's see. Sorry. Okay, I just, so I have with me the, let me see, can I, oops. Sorry about that. I just wanted to be able to make sure you can see the device. There we go. So I have the CS500F with me. It's a very solid device used for high traffic environments. The outer casing has a IP54 rating, and that enables it to withstand dust ingress as well as water being poured on the device. We have on the front of the device the user feedback features, LEDs indicating which fingerprint to press, as well as to show that the power is on, whether it's rolled or flat. In addition to that, it comes with a handle so it can be moved around on a desk. And for fixed or in a kiosk or fixed on a desk, we have mounting holes. 3 here and 3 here, so it can be used to be mounted inside a kiosk or gate or mounted to a desk to prevent it from moving around. We have a very good strain relief cable. We're able to hold the device by the cable itself and it won't give way. This is ensures that it's very durable and doesn't get damaged or the internals get damaged when the device is moved around. At this point, I'm going to plug it into my Android tablet that I have. I have an OTG cable that allows the Android tablet to connect to and power USB devices such as the CS500F. There we go. We see the little power light come on the device. At this point, I'm going to bring up our application. Now the application's coming on the screen. It's prompting me to load the device, and then we see the screen here for the application, showing the application. So at this point, I'm going to walk through a standard 442 capture sequence. So I press capture. The screen pops up and you see the little green here indicates that I should place my left hand. In parallel to that, we see on the device, the red LEDs light up for the left hand. So I'm going to place my left hand on the scanner. So it's going to capture. It's completed the capture. It's processing the image. And it shows a successful acquisition and the segmentation of the fingerprints. You see the little boxes, and beside each box is the NFIX score, and we've got very good scores. So now proceed to the next one. So in some enrollment devices, it can be set to automatically move to the next one if it finds good quality fingerprints. So now I'm going to place my right hand fingers on the device. I press, you can see the preview on the screen, and it then shows the device. And it's prompting me to, says that if under pressed or so rescan. That shows the user feedback if someone isn't pressing or they have dry fingerprints. So it does that evaluation. I pressed a little harder and we got good scores. So now we'll move on to the thumbs. So it saved those images. Now it's prompting me to place my thumbs on the device. So I place my thumbs on. You can sort of see the preview there as it's capturing the image. It's acquiring the image. And good quality scores and a good capture. So now I'm just going to walk through some of the features. So we can store the actual original capture, as well as look at each of the segmented fingerprints and replace those if necessary. I'd like to, at this point, walk through some of the features that we have to prompt users, particularly untrained users. So you don't necessarily need to have a fingerprint forensic expert operating the device or to be used in an unintended environment. So let's work with the right hand to acquire those images. So if I press my hand on, and acquire the images, it's a successful capture. Now, if I was to only recapture, if I wasn't to press very hard, it gives me a message that incomplete pattern detected, fingerprints too dry or under pressed. So, and you can see here, you'll see that it was just the one little finger that I didn't press, so that one is showing up red, but the other ones are showing green for a good capture. So if let's say I misunderstood the prompts and I put my left hand on instead, it will go through doing the capture. But at this point, we have an error message saying that it was a right-left hand detected a mix-up and a segmentation failure. So being able to ensure that the fingers are captured in proper sequence. It can detect if only 3 fingers are placed. In this sample application, it detects that as an error. In enrollment applications, this can be used to be set to allow for fewer than 4 fingerprints, but by having operator approval to proceed. Also being able to detect rotation or things on the side. So giving an incomplete capture and detecting inclination. So now I'll just go back, capture 4 good fingerprint images, and then we can proceed. Okay. I'd like to, at this point, show some rolled and flat fingerprints. So I'll pick the right index. So I want to acquire selected item. So you see that only one LED is lit on the device, as well as in the software, it's indicating which, with the little green, which finger took place. So I'll do the rolled fingerprint. And the preview is showing, if you just look at the bottom of the screen, it's showing the preview of the capture, showing the rolled fingerprints. And now with the rolled fingerprints, we use 2 metrics, like the INFIX score, the quality of the image, but as well checking for artifacts. And these can be set so that you have, if you have too many artifacts, to reject the fingerprint or to be able to proceed. So then I'll skip. I'll do a flat fingerprint. Let's continue with the right index just because of the angle in which I'm using the device. So you can just place 1 fingerprint on, captures the device, gives me a quality score. If I just place 2 fingerprints on, it says it goes out of the border, provides issues if I was to press very lightly, too dry or under pressed. That'll come up with an error. So now one of the other things I'd like, as I mentioned earlier, we have advanced machine learning algorithm that's able to detect fake fingerprints. And this is very important in a self-service environment. So I have a latex fingerprint here. I'm going to put that on my index finger and then place that on the device. It's going to capture that fingerprint. You see the preview over here. And this is a good quality fake fingerprint, which has a successful acquisition and a good quality score. So it's not, so if I accept that, and I'll go to my settings and I'll enable the software fake finger detection. So there's no upgrades or anything needed to the hardware itself. Click OK, we'll capture that again. Place my finger on, goes through the capture, acquiring the fingerprint, analyzing the fingerprint image, and then decides to, one of the challenges with doing a live demo. So let's go with single fingerprint. Acquire. Placing the finger on, acquiring the image. Oh, yeah. Sorry about that. Go here. Because the fake finger is not on by default. Acquire selected. I'm going to capture, transferring the image, processing. So a good quality image, but it detects it as a fake finger. We can skip that. We can also go back and do 4 fingers, acquire that with the fake fingerprint detection on. All 4 LEDs are on. And then I'll place my fingers on the device. There we go. Acquiring, processing the image. And it's detected the index finger as a fake finger. You see over here on the LEDs, 3 of them are green and 1 is red. So for the live part of the presentation, I'd like to thank everyone for attending the presentation. As you can see, it's a very good quality, solid device that is targeted specifically at civil identity management and financial organizations, as well as government applications for law enforcement and border control. At this point, I'd like to open it up for any questions. Do we still have time for questions?
Yep. So the first question is, how did the slap finger technology evolve over the last 10 years?
Oh, well, the slap fingerprint technology has developed a lot over so being able to detect the fingerprints. I think the really big advancement is on the fake finger detection and being able to detect fake fingerprints, as well as we have algorithms on board for being able to compensate for dry fingerprints, latent fingerprint removals. So a lot of strength on the software side to have a very good quality image capture. And on the hardware, you see we have much more compact devices that are very good at being able to be used with untrained operators and users.
Wonderful.
Next question.
Okay, yes. Another question is, do you have a reason to select optical technology over LES technology for fingerprint capture?
Yeah, certainly there are some definite advantages to optical technology from an ease of use perspective, because the LES technology often requires the person to have their contact with the outer edge of the device. Well, so the optical technologies are when we have implementations that have both, the preference from the operators and the users is for an optical device.
Wonderful. And so one other question is, how does the device operate in unfavorable climate conditions, for example, in warmer climates?
Oh, well, it operates very well in warmer climates. And really the challenge that you have to think of is more on the drier climates, not necessarily the warmth. And a warmer device is actually easier to capture fingerprints than necessarily a colder device. So it's really the humidity and the dryness that has a greater impact.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, James. That was wonderful seeing a live demo. And we really appreciate you giving us your time.
Good, thank you.
Thank you. So next we have Michiel van der Hurst from TECH5. Michiel, if you could please unmute yourself and
yes.
please introduce where you're speaking from. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. Good to see you all, or a virtual environment, I should say. My name is Michiel van der Hurst from TECH5. I have a short video first to show for our subject matter this afternoon, which is our mobile ID, which are disruptive technology for the digital ID trend. And let me do this first and then take your questions. Hello, good day. My name is Hurst. I'm the co-founder and CEO of TECH5, headquartered in Geneva, Switzerland. We're an international technology company, and we're focused on the development and design, distribution of biometrics-driven identity management solutions. The company was founded by a team of industry veterans who have been working in the biometrics and credentialing space over the last 20 years. We've been fortunate enough to develop experience and been active players in projects like the India ATA program and the Indonesia National ID. In TECH5, we firmly believe that everybody should have their own access and full control over personal data. We design solutions that are based on the principles of inclusiveness, security, and privacy. Today, I'm delighted to introduce TECH5 Mobile ID, which is our latest innovation-driven solution that lets you securely store your personal data and verify your identity in a secure and completely offline fashion. Let me hand over to my colleagues that give you an introduction in the following demonstration and illustrate how TECH5 Mobile ID will let the African citizen create their own mobile identity in the comfort of one's home.
The T5 Mobile ID is a TECH5 flexible solution for both the onboarding of a citizen's biographical and biometric data and a citizen's identity verification. After following a link to download the app using any smart device such as phone or tablet, the applicant begins enrollment by entering the necessary data to obtain a mobile ID according to a customer's business rules. After entering the data, the applicant is prompted to take a selfie. The app guides the applicant through the process to ensure that the conditions are optimized for portrait capture. Automated quality assessment takes place before the portrait is enrolled. Once the portrait is captured, and depending on end user application, the incorporation of liveness detection would be built in at this stage if required. The user can then be optionally guided to capture the fingers of either the left hand, the right hand, or both hands. In general, 4 fingers of one hand is sufficient to verify a citizen. The liveness of fingerprints can also be captured to meet end user requirements. Once all data and images are captured, These are sent to the back-end system where a variety of background checks can be completed according to the business rules of the end user or business program, including checking against existing biometric data, biographical data, and adding new biometric data from the enrollment to the record. In addition, the system has deduplication capability to ensure that a citizen being enrolled does not exist more than once in the database. Following confirmation of the data, a credential is created by the IdenCode platform and provisioned back to the ID holder's device. The credential appears on the ID holder's device as a cryptograph, which contains biographical and biometric data along with additional text data from enrollment. The data available and/or visible are not limited to the enrollment data, but are generated according to the customer's project and is available from the database establishing authentication and generating the cryptograph. For example, a driver's license may contain vehicle registration information and vision details. A health card may contain medical data, including blood group or whether someone is a diabetic, and a banking card may contain account details. Once the T5 IdenCode has completed credential creation, it can now serve as mobile verification. Any authorized verifying individual, such as a police officer, a bank agent, or clinic staff, can verify the credential using the T5 IdenCode app. The mobile verification app has two basic functions. The first is to decode and verify the credential using the digital key provided by the issuer. The second is to compare the credential against the holder biometrically. In this demo, we are showing phone-to-phone verification. However, it is equally possible to print the credential on a physical document, including a blank piece of paper, an identity card, or some other official document such as a vaccination or other certificate. The end result is that once the credential has been verified as genuine, using the digital keys on the verifying device, it can be matched to the holder biometrically. The cryptograph can be read by simply holding it in front of the camera of the verifying device, in this case a phone, but the device can also be a tablet or any dedicated reading device. Once read, a compressed portrait of the ID holder is shown on the verifying agent's screen. This feature allows for the visual inspection of the ID holder in the manner of any verifying authority who verifies a citizen's identity from a physical ID or a passport. However, the simple visual inspection of a photo is not foolproof. The added benefit of the T5 Mobile ID lies in its greater security with respect to authentication. It offers the added advantage of biometric options, in this case face or fingers, although other biometrics such as iris or voice can be included as the final use case requires. Successful biometric verification is confirmed on screen. The number and richness of identity details can be displayed according to a customer's business rules. Beyond manual text input, the T5 IdenCode platform also supports additional enrollment features. In this instance, the applicant is enrolling using their driver's license. This process can incorporate several elements, such as extraction of textual data from the surface of a document, comparison of facial images from a document, and extraction of further data from a chip residing on a document. Additional security and authenticity checks on a document used for enrollment can also be incorporated on the back-end system. In a similar way, as previously shown, additional live biometric data can be added to the record. After the back-end check, the credential can be issued in the same manner. The amount of data stored on the cryptograph, as well as the type and amount of visible text available on the credential, are determined and configurable by the customer. Once the credential is created from a document, verification proceeds as previously described.
I hope you enjoyed this introduction, and I'd like to thank you for your attention. Happy to answer any questions you may have, and let's have a chat about TECH5 mobile identity. I would also be pleased if you would stop by our digital booth at this exhibition, where my colleagues will be more than happy to have a chat and share collateral with you and discuss also our other solutions that we're presenting at this event.
All right, thank you so much for that. That was wonderful. So we do have questions from the audience. So first, somebody has asked, what are standards used to do the biometrics fingerprint capture and the cryptograph QR code?
So the standards in digital ID and mobile ID are evolving as we speak. So there's several standards that relate specifically, for instance, for those offerings that want to have a driver's license transposed as a digital credential on the phone. Standards are very much information, and we're actively supporting various variants of them. Mostly have to do with, in fact, the way the fingerprints are being captured or the credential is being read. These standards can become quite detailed. So the ICAO standard is upcoming, and several others. They're in definition, and we're actively supporting them.
Wonderful. And so another question that's been asked is the mobile fingerprints capture interoperable with flat captured fingerprints? And is any certification passed on accuracy FAR/FRR?
So the capture of the fingerprint, once the fingerprint is captured, that data is exported as a standard WSQ file. So that can be matched against other fingerprints. Certainly, yeah. The development of mobile fingerprint capture is going very fast, but obviously, it's if we want to take a fingerprint that is captured with a mobile device and compare it with a database of 100 million in a pure one-to-N fashion, that's not yet suitable. Yeah, but what it's really suitable for is for fast and accurate one-to-one matching on a mobile device, for instance, against our mobile ID credential that we showed in the video, where the reference template is stored, and one-to-few. Yeah, these are the most immediate use cases for mobile fingerprint capture.
Okay, thank you so much. That is all the questions we seem to have. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you for having us. Cheers.
Next, from Entrust, we're having Jean-Louis Mayer who's joining us. He'll just give a quick intro, and then we'll play your video.
Thank you, Mishka. So good afternoon. We are pleased to be part of this innovation showcase session. We will have today a 20-minute video providing you with a unique virtual experience of government ID card issuing. You will discover our latest technology innovations for color and laser or visions on our MX series platform. Enjoy this video run by my colleagues from product marketing. As the video lasts 20 minutes, unfortunately, it does not allow us for live Q&A session, but feel free to ask questions using WOWA platform and also to visit our virtual booth, and we will make sure to reply to your question. So Mishka, will ask you to run the video now. Thank you very much.
Welcome back from break. We are now going to move into the production floor tour.
There's one more MX6100 system that I'd like to cover with you today, and that is one that we specially configured for secure color plus laser printing. In this particular MX6100, we've spent a lot of time covering the front end of the system, the controller, the input modules, the card cleaning module, and even the barrel module. So we're going to skip those and go to the next position here where we can talk to some of the unique modules that are in this and specifically built for this particular application. So let's start with the graphics printing module. This module uses thermal print heads and monochrome ribbons to print text and barcodes. For our demonstration purposes, we use the black ribbon in our video, but in this case, in the case of secure color, photo plus laser, we would use a specialized clear receptive ribbon to create a layer on the polycarbonate card to enable direct-to-card color printing. Once the card is printed here, it will then move into our next module. So the card moves into the next module, our color printing module. Here in the color printing module, the color photo image is printed using individual yellow, magenta, and cyan ribbons and print heads. By printing it this way, this allows for ribbon savings as the size of the photo determines the amount of ribbon used. Once the photo is printed, we then need to protect it, and we will do that in our next module. The DuraGuard lamination module applies a protective polyester, holographic, or clear patch over the citizen photo. This allows for tactile security features using laser engraving on the rest of the card. Because heat is used to apply the polyester patch in this process, as the card leaves the module, it goes through a debow or bending process that helps ensure that the card is as flat as possible. So now that we've protected the photo, we're going to go ahead and take it to the final step, which is laser engraving. Again, using the compact air-cooled fiber laser, the process is finalized by laser engraving the photo and other cardholder data to create a tactile, long-life, secure color card. If you want more information on this particular process, there is information in the presentations that we did earlier today to actually help you document what it is that you need for this entire process. And with that, we're going to end our tour of the MX system.
So let's walk over to the MX8100 system. The MX8100 system is our platform for large volume card operations. With a throughput up to 3,000 cards per hour, depending on how it's configured, this system has all the capabilities your operation is looking for in secure card issuance. Today we will showcase our laser, UV curable technology, vision technologies, and color label printing. So let's go ahead and move into the system. Starting with the system controller module, this is the single point of contact and control for the entire MX8100 system. The system was programmed to provide the operator a visual of the cardstock required for personalization. Once the operator starts the job, they can monitor the progress using the production screens as seen here. This screen gives the operator a visual representation of the system configuration. Each module is identified and additional information, including supply level low, expiring, or out, is available to help the operator prepare for upcoming jobs. I want to direct your attention to the controller screen. Here you can see the system controller module indicating a yellow to communicate the system is in operation. There's also a red indicator to tell the operator not to lift the hoods. If the module needs attention during production, they will change to yellow or red to help the operator identify the action he or she may need to take. From here, let's move to the high capacity card input module. The high capacity card input module is on the right-hand side of the screen. This module holds up to 1,000 cards with 500 cards in each tray. Here the system pooled multiple jobs together. To help the operator with downstream processing, an orange card was picked from the input tray on the right to signal that one of the subjobs was completed and a new subjob has started. By doing this, the system was able to run more efficiently and gave the operator confidence when driving the work at the end of the run. To the left of the high capacity card input module is the card cleaning module. This module uses cleaning tape to clean the rollers on the card track. The rollers then clean the front and the back of the card before entering the next downstream module. Cleaning is required for direct-to-card personalization technologies. We are using it here today in conjunction with the durable graphics printing module downstream. Let's move over to the vision verification module. The Vision Verification Module Gen 2 has multiple uses, including cardstock verification or finding a specific location on the card. Using camera technology to verify the cardstock, we programmed the system to tell the operator which cardstock to load. The Vision Verification Module Gen 2 will confirm that the operator loaded the correct card at personalization time to help minimize errors and scrap costs. When used to look for X and Y coordinates on a card, it will tell the downstream modules where to start printing. This helps adjust personalization for the element float that happens during the card manufacturing process. From here, we're going to go ahead and move on to the next module, which is the Barrel Dual Interface Smart Card module. Card programs continue to move to smart card chips as part of the card construction to increase security and functionality of the card. The Barrel Dual Interface Smart Card module personalizes contact, contactless, or hybrid cards. Cards are programmed as they travel around the module and exit the module when completed. So moving into the Laser 350 module. If creating a card using laser technology and drop on demand, the next module in the configuration would be the Laser 350 module. This module is a compact air-cooled fiber laser that provides high security personalization of text, grayscale, photos, barcodes, and images below the card surface. All setups are completed using the system controller module, helping to simplify implementation and ongoing maintenance. By utilizing this technology during card personalization, unique security features can be added at the time of personalization, helping to create high-quality, secure credentials. From here, we're going to go ahead and move over into the next set of modules and talk about the duplex DoD printing module. Here the card is printed using high-quality native 600 DPI printheads for CMYK and 360 DPI printheads for white and varnish. The module is capable of printing monochrome or full-color text and images and can print the entire background image of the card edge to edge. When using the varnish ink, an additional clear layer can be applied in a variety of ways to add durability and security to your card design. Edge to edge, textured pattern, or spot security elements are all possible with clear varnish capability. We'll go ahead and start the video here. This module was developed to be a front-side printing module. The card will enter the module from the right side and go through 4 distinct steps for printing cards, called pre-treat, printing, UV curing, and buffering. If backside personalization is required, the card will be turned over in the buffering section at the end of the module and enter the return path. The card will then travel to the front of the module to be reintroduced just before the pre-treat process, allowing both front and backside of the card to be personalized in one duplex DoD printing module. As with all MX series modules, tracking of the cards for data integrity is of the utmost importance. At all times, the cards within the system, and specifically the DoD printing module, are tracked to help ensure accurate personalization. Let's take a closer look at each of the sections of the module. This is the pre-treat. Printing. UV curing, ink handling, buffering, and the return path. In the next section, we'll take a closer look at each one of these individually. So the first step to achieve high quality printing is to prepare the card for ink application. This is done with plasma pretreat using blown ions to change the surface energy of the card. This is a dynamic process that can be changed on a card-by-card basis if necessary. The card is moved from a vertical position to a horizontal position by placing it on a card shuttle to the left of the plasma unit. This shuttle holds the card in place as the card moves under the print head. Moving to the next section, the cap that protects the print heads is moved out of the way once the system has started. Here the cards are moved under the print heads using our beltless card design or shuttle system. By holding the card on the shuttle system, we can accurately place the card under the print head to get a high quality printing output. A small UV pinning light is located on the left side of the print heads just before the varnish. This pinning light is used to partially cure the card to stop the movement of ink. The UV pinning light will mostly be used for edge-to-edge cards or when a varnish layer over DoD printing is added. In the next section is the UV curing light. We talked about one of the two UV curing lights in the duplex DoD printing module. This section shows a second UV curing light. This is the larger UV curing light just downstream of the print heads that provides the final cure of the card. Both UV curing stations can be dynamically adjusted on a per card basis depending on your needs. In front of the buffer section of the module is the ink handling system. This area allows for ink cartridges that are specifically keyed to be inserted into the system by the operator with no mess and without taking up additional floor space. We'll go ahead and start the video here to show you the buffer behind the ink handling system that allows the system to pause gracefully without the card waste common in belt-driven systems. The buffer holds up to 4 cards when the system is paused. This area of the module also contains a card flipper that is used when running the duplex DoD printing module in the duplex mode. Moving to the last position, and quality assurance. The quality assurance module provides a final check of the cards before applying a label or affixed to a card carrier and inserted into an envelope. Starting the video here, the module will then capture an image on the front, back, or both sides of the card, depending on setup. It moves the card into the mag stripe area to read the personalization from the stripe, and then into the smart card area to read the encoded chip. As a final step, it compares all 3 areas of personalization with the data record for that card. If the card doesn't match, it will move it to the reject tray. As an option, if an error is found, the operator can compare the rejected card to the screen, helping to identify the problem area and decide whether to keep the card or to reject it. Our next module to discuss is the color label printing module. Do you want to get your citizens' attention or consider changing your verification process? Then adding a message or color photo to a label using the color label printing module might be the right option for you. This module prints blank white labels and applies them to the card. Issuers can now dynamically print full color edge-to-edge images and text. On startup, the first card on the job will move into the color label printing module and a label alignment process will take place. Once alignment is verified, the module will begin printing the labels. Each label is individually printed before adhering it to the card. This enables edge-to-edge, high-quality 800 DPI printing. No longer does texture on the card affect the printing of a label. A vision system is included in the module to help ensure the right label is on the right card. The configuration of this module includes a humidifier kit used to maintain the printhead hydration within the module. We can move on to the second part of the label module, which shows us how we could minimize floor space. When designing the color label printing module, a drawer was created to be opened by the operator or the maintenance team to access the label and ink supplies for ease of use and maintenance. The final module in our configuration today is the high capacity card output module. This module holds up to 1,000 cards and uses removable trays. Removable trays are compatible with the DX5100 card delivery system, enabling a seamless transition from card personalization to card affixing and inserting. At this time, we're going to go back to our production floor.
I'll take you through the supplies for the 6100. For direct-to-card and laser, the dye receptive layer is a supply that allows the photo to be printed on a PC card. Next, the D2T2 color ribbon allows for brilliant full-color images. This is printing directly to the card and in 300 dpi. Now, the DuraGuard patch, which can be clear or hologram, is a polyester patch that has extreme durability resistance and is available in 0.5 and 1 millimeter thickness. We are the industry leader with the largest patch for near edge-to-edge coverage, and this is used to meet ISO 24789 durability standards of a 10-year card life. The image quality is very strong with a 600 dpi print resolution. Not only can full brilliant images be printed, but also specialty colors like metallic, white, and UV fluorescent blue for government. CardGuard is a proprietary flexible UV cured layer that provides long-lasting protection and is unique to our central issuance platforms. It provides over 4 times the durability of standard top coats. The laser here is also the last part, and there are no supplies for this. For drop-on-demand printing and laser, we use 1 liter sealed ink cartridges for clean supply installation and replacement. No ink pouring or spills. This is designed to reduce contact the operator has with the inks. In addition, the color-coded keyed ink cartridges eliminate the costly mistake of the wrong color loading error. It's really the right supply at the right time. What's also exciting is varnish. The ink can be added to enhance durability or add a security element. The last part of this is the laser, and there are no supplies for this. I'll take you through the supplies for the 8100 now. For drop-on demand, we use 1 liter sealed ink cartridges for clean supply installation and replacement. No ink pouring or spills. This is designed to reduce contact the operator has with the inks. In addition, the color-coded keyed ink cartridges eliminate the costly mistake of the wrong color loading error. The right supply at the right time. What's also exciting is varnish. This ink can be added to enhance durability or add a security element. For color label, it was developed in tandem with the module to ensure high quality output and allow for edge-to-edge printing. Auto supply recognition is of particular value here. It communicates to the controller that printing can happen on the correct label size. There is a specialized label formulation that is used here. There is also supply conservation and maximized label roll yields for long system runtime. There are 4 separate color inks and no drip nozzles for less mess. Continue with the tour.
All right, thank you so much for that. That does eat up all of your time. Sorry, Jen Louis. So there's no time for your questions, but thank you for that wonderful demo.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming. Okay. Before we move on, for the African delegates that are playing the iPhone game, we're going to now announce our next sweep entry, so please record this. One second. The seventh sweep letter of the day is D.
La septième lettre sweep du jour est le D.
And also please note those who are playing the sweep entry not to enter the letters now. Please record all of the letters and at the end of the day, then record them all at once in the sweep entry section of your app. So right now, we do not enter it right now. Okay, so moving on, we have Tariq Salama from Get Group. Tariq, are you here?
Sorry, I was on mute. So,
can you please turn your video on?
yes, I'm doing. So, yes, I'm here. Okay.
Yeah. So please introduce where you're speaking from and share your product.
Okay, sure. Well, hello everyone, and thank you for joining this GET group session where we will demonstrate our digital identity solution. My name is Tariq Salama, and I'm the pre-sales manager for GET Group. And I really think it's inspiring to have this, the first ever digital iteration of ID for Africa, focusing on the digital identity technologies. Since we as technology manufacturers have been working day and night for the past decades trying to empower our physical ID solution when it comes to security, quality, and of course, assuring a superior level of service to our government clients. Having said that, it was always at the back of our mind where we believed that a day will come for the digital world to merge with the physical identification technologies, not only to complement it, however, to, I would say, extend its reach to a whole new level of authorization, verification, and identification. And definitely, with the rise of the mobile technology, the spread of pandemic, and the global awareness and need for a touchless verification methods and solutions, it all acted as a catalyst for us developers to invest time and expertise in developing a digital identity platform. And back then, when we started developing our own digital ID solutions, we actually held ourselves responsible to carry on our legacy, heritage, and expertise in the physical identification world into the digital world, especially that we are proudly serving 50+ governments worldwide, and honored to mention that 10 of them are within the African region. So in order for us to do so, we had to focus on the core fundamentals of identification, which we will be presenting through the upcoming slides. So our digital ID solution, sorry for that. Yes, so our digital ID solution is not only considered an end-to-end platform, it's an all-around solution that ensures transparency for the holder itself, where any data that should be transmitted in and out of the system or the holder's phone will always be upon his consent. And we aim to ensure privacy of this data, where only the minimal required data should be exposed or shared, of course, against the holder's acceptance of that. And it's all protected under the technology of the biometric usage for matching and verification. And of course, to complement this solution, we had to develop what we call an identity remote proofing tool that enables smooth and remote onboarding for the system, with the vision to have our digital identity as a unique and unified digital wallet, and not only a dedicated digital solution, digital identification solution, not only for like driving license or for example, national ID. Now we try to maintain a unified digital wallet that can handle all your online credentials as a holder. So our solution, it consists mainly of three main parts. Of course, the back-end engine, which is the digital identity system. It's a PKI-based solution which would handle all the encryption and e-signing of the data, managing the digital data, managing the users' portfolios, and all that. Of course, the digital onboarding solution that facilitate a remote, quick, seamless onboarding tool for the users. And of course, the mobile application or the mobile ID that acts as an interface between the holder and all his credentials and verifiable claims within his wallet, his digital wallet. So in order to achieve what we call an efficient ecosystem for digital identity solutions, we had to identify four main parties, and those parties would act collectively to achieve a secure and efficient digital identity platform. The first party would be the identity owner, or what we call the holder, a trusted partner or a trustworthy partner, whom can be any institute that would attest the claims and verifiable claims of the holder. It can be medical centers, it can be banks, sports clubs, educational institutes, government services, and all that. Of course, we have the identity provider or the issuer, who would definitely always update and empowers your digital wallet, and the verifier, which is an application at any, for example, border point, airports, any facility or service that you need to access digitally, so you can authenticate or verify yourself as the verifier point. So the first step of entering the digital world was to build the bridge that will take us from the physical world to the digital world. This is how the two worlds actually merge, and using the reference as the physical ID, our onboarding tool actually delivers this bridge that once you scan an actual ID, and all the data, of course, is validated and verified at the back end, you are then asked to take a selfie, which later on will be used for all one-to-one biometric verifications, and conduct a liveness check, making sure that the real person is trying to log himself or create a digital wallet. And of course, the last step, once all data is consolidated and verified, you will be asked to confirm and issue your own digital wallet. Throughout this presentation, or I would say webinar, once we created the platform, the digital identity platform, it can be used for multiple and many use cases, where verticals and horizontals, it can always fit to any need. However, we have chosen the COVID-19 vaccine use case, especially that we think everyone will be more related to it during this days, and as we are all expecting to receive the vaccine, the sooner the better for everyone. So more or less, this slide, before we move into the live demo, this slide showed the relationship between, as mentioned, the four main parties of digital identity platform. Of course, as a holder, you will need to contact your partner, which in this case is the medical or test lab. After the medical test lab verifies your claim and request, it transmits all data encrypted to the back-end system, and the back-end system actually verifies you as a holder, verifies the medical lab itself, and verifies the claim, and asks you to give them, to grant them access to share your data to the medical lab and or the hospital. Once you give them the acceptance, now you can book an appointment for the vaccine. Once the vaccine is issued and you get vaccinated, the trusted partner, which is the medical center in this case, will revoke your wallet or update your wallet with a verifiable claim now that you are a vaccinated person. And it will again ask you at your consent to update your wallet with such data. And once you approve it, you can always use it, for example, here at the airport to verify yourself as a vaccinated person and use whatever service, whether to travel, access anywhere you'd like, of course, all under your consent. So moving to the live video that captures the process, we will follow Wasim's journey into trying to first off register himself within the system. So as you can see, he creates a new account. He can here take a photo or choose an uploaded photo. Now Wasim is scanning his own physical national ID card. While capturing the image goes, of course, image processing. The data is then validated against back engine checks through integrations, of course. Now he will be asked to capture the backside of his card as well. And as you can see, Wasim is taking also a live photo for his national ID. All data is being captured, again, going through the same process of data validation, image processing, and all that. Once Wasim is ready and his data is captured, he will be asked to conduct or take the selfie photo for biometric use. As you can see, he's approaching his front phone camera. Now he's validated and checked. The next step, of course, will be checking the liveness, making sure that it's not a mock-up or an image, that it's a live person trying to issue a digital wallet. Since now all data is consolidated and clear, Wissam will be asked for confirmation. And once he confirmed, he will be asked to enter his mobile phone. And it's a really important step here because the mobile phone will act as an OTP connection with a server. And of course, adding password for multiple authentication protection. And this was the side of the digital holder or the digital identity holder. Again, for the backend system itself as well. Now, for example, in this case, the medical center or any partner, because there's a lot of definitely dynamics for partners to join, whether it's banks, again, whether it's government institutes and all that. So as a partner, you would need to create your own account within or portfolio within the digital identity ecosystem. So as you can see now, the medical center, on the other hand, is creating its own account. So as you can see, we're clicking register a new partner, entering all required data as we speak. And of course, choosing a logo for themselves. So now the health center is created as part of the partners registered. And of course, at this point, we have the holder and the trusted partner themselves. So Wissam will relog onto his phone. For the first time, he will definitely prompt to enter his phone and enter the password with his credentials. Now he's using the biometrics as well. As you can see, the system is asking for his fingerprint. Now Wissam has logged into his digital wallet. Okay, so on the right of the screen, you will find that Wissam is trying to book an appointment through the medical center's web platform. And all he needs to do is remotely verify himself, making sure that he is eligible to appoint himself for vaccination. So as you can see, he will be asked to share his data QR code. So now he will generate the QR code. The left-hand side is his phone, scanning the QR code, asked his permission to share the data. Of course, the system will verify through biometrics that Wissam is the one using his phone. Once the verification is done, the liveness check procedures comes in. So now Wasim has granted the system all the credentials it needs and is booking the preferred time slot for the vaccination. Upon submitting this request, is now appointment is ready for him to become vaccinated. At this stage, all he has to do is visit the medical center on time, get the vaccine, and once his vaccine results is approval is done and he was already vaccinated, Wasim would need two things actually: to update his wallet and to approve the updating of his digital wallet with the credential of him being a citizen who is vaccinated, and verify it at any border point or airport moving forward. So as you can see, he is accessing the medical center portal as well, scanning his QR code. Now the results are ready for him as vaccinated. Once he is submitted, you can see on the left-hand side that the system is asking him to update his digital wallet with the COVID-19 vaccine data. As you can see, it shows that he is already vaccinated with the QR code to verify it. Moving forward at the verifier side, he can use whether online or offline scenarios, NFC, Bluetooth, or even QR code. And it shows that Wasim is successfully vaccinated with all time, date, and information related. And now Wasim can travel or verify himself at any border point. This is a very quick review about our digital identity solution, and please make sure to visit our virtual booth in ID for Africa for more documents and write-ups regarding this solution. And not to mention, you should visit our GET group website for additional demos or any information or even questions that you have. So thank you for your time, and I think I will take this couple of minutes left for you to ask any questions you might need.
Yeah, and so there's some wonderful questions. One person has asked, what is the security strength? And if you could shed some light on the security of this.
Sure. Of course, our system is entirely a PKI-based solution. And this assures that any transactions within or even outside the system, all data is encrypted and digitally signed with the public and private keys, ensuring that all data cannot be accessed except using your own phone's private key, which is definitely stored on your phone's HSM.
Okay, and so somebody has asked that, can you use the hypothesis of taking a vaccine as a demonstration of using the application?
Well, I don't think I get this question correctly, but if I may explain, of course, this is only a use case. However, when it comes to the digital wallet concepts, it covers not only a vaccination use case. However, the big picture is that we have a unified identifier, a digital identifier for each and everyone that would hold all your credentials, from medical credentials to educational credentials, driving license, national ID, and all that. So I hope this clarified the question, if I understood it correctly.
I'm sure it did. And if the audience would like to ask something else, they can continue asking the Hoover app, and then you can, of course, respond there. Thank you so much, Tariq.
Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay, so before we move on, we're still continuing with, yes, we are continuing our world tour. We're moving on to CST, Crime Science Technology. And we have got here Alois from there. And I'll ask you to please start your video and join me up here. Hi, and could you please present where you're speaking from and what you're going to present today? Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mishka. So first of all, let me Let me thank you for this invitation. So I'm very happy to be here, even if it's a virtual event. I'm very pleased to be in front of you to get the chance to present our OVM technology. So I will share my screen, but maybe before we move on the technology, a couple of words about our company. CST stands for Crime Science Technology. So we develop a new security feature for ID documents. So we are a chemist, and we develop very specific molecules which combine chemical effect and physics phenomena. So by combining both, we develop a new security features. So I will share my screen here. I hope that you can see it.
Yeah, we can see your screen.
Okay, very good. Yes, Mishka, I forgot to mention that we are located in France, so I'm talking from France, in Paris. So regarding the OVM technology, which is one of our security features that we have developed. So OVM technology stands for optical variable material. So as I said, we develop molecules and they combine chemical and physical effect. So this product, this OVM technology, aim to secure the clear window of ID document, the transparent area of ID document. So as I mentioned, because due to the fact that we combine chemical and physical effect, we can detect our features in different levels. So we focus on level 1 because, you know, all the police forces and requests for this kind of feature, easy to check and easy to remember. So we focus on this, and we can check this OVM in level 1 just with your eye, as we will see later on. But we have also at other levels where you can check the features. So there is also what we call level 1.5, which is not by using a very specific tools, but by using your smartphone, the LED of your smartphone. You don't need any additional equipment on your smartphone. You just take your smartphone and you can check the feature as well. Then we combine also other level 2 with a UV lamp, a standard one, 365 nanometer. And this is in level 2, but also in level 3, because with a lab equipment, we can also check this OVM technology. So I noticed in the chat today that there is some question around the new technology and new feature that are not easy to integrate sometime because we need additional equipment, new machine. But this is exactly where we focus on our attention. We aim to have something easy to integrate into the process already mastered by car manufacturers. So we can embed this OVM, these molecules, into different matrix, like directly embedded into the polycarbonate, the PVC, the PET, but also into an ink. So basically with a silkscreen application that all players have currently, you can implement this security feature. So you don't need any additional equipment to use this technology. And one thing very important as well, because I noticed also this question in the chat today, that there is a nice technology, but always, or for most of them, owned by company. So, and then I got this remark where, yeah, this is a nice feature, but then we are locked with a company, and this is exactly what we can offer, because this technology is available for all car manufacturers. So it's not owned by a specific player on the market. So available, it's I will come back on this, agnostic solution, let's say. So based on this OVM technology, we have developed three types of application. So the first one is a polycarbonate. So we have embedded this OVM directly into the polycarbonate. Secondly is into ink, where, as I said, with a silkscreen or offset application, you can print this OVM ink. And the last one is the OVM DSI, which stands for dynamic shifting image. You'll see it's a combination of two different ink. So three features that I will show you with some videos today. And for each level, I will show you a video for all these three products. So as I said, main focus for us is level one, easy to check, no tool, just your eye. So if we take, for example, this product here, there is here a transparent window where we have the OVM polycarbonate embedded. So if you move the document, so it's a clear window. If you move the document, as you can see on this video, from a white background to a dark background, you can see a color shift. So very easy to check, a clear color shift. So you just need to move your document. You are in all conditions. You move your document from a white background to a dark background, and you have immediately a color shift which appears on the cards. So very easy to check, no tool, just your eye, and also very easy to remember. Here there is one color shift, which is the green to red, but of course there is also other color shift that we have developed. I hope you can see the video because quality seems not very good. But we have developed also other color shift, which can be, for example, connected to a flag of a country, for example. So if you need any specific color shift, then we can customize it. So if we move to the second product, still in level one, here it's an OVM ink. So this is a silkscreen application in transparent window. So you can put on the card an ID1 card like this, but also on the ID3 document, or even a paper where you have a transparent window. We have more and more paper with transparent window. You can also add this ink directly on this transparent window. So here, this is ink. And as you can see, it's moved from the blue on the white background to a green to a dark background. So very easy to check. Again, no need to any tool and easy to remember. And the last one in terms of level one, which is related to the DSI. So here we combine two different ink, and so we combine two different effects. So here you might see the CST and DSI showing on the blue area on the document. But when you move the document from the white background to a dark background, here, you see on the dark background, then it's not blue anymore. You move to a red color with green pattern. So which shift color and pattern. The reason why this is called dynamic shifting image. We combine different ink, OVM ink. This is not properly showing on my video. I hope this is okay for you. So secondly, as I said, it's not exactly a level one because you need a tool. It's not exactly a level two because everybody has a smartphone today. And so it's very easy to check, and you don't need any additional equipment on your smartphone. You just need to turn on the LED of the torch of your smartphone, and you can see the feature. So here, this is OVM polycarbonate, so first product, where you display with you turn on the light of your smartphone. So As you can see, very easy to check also. You turn on the LED of your smartphone directly on the transparent window and you show one color. And on the shadow on the table, you can see directly the opposite color, so which is green in that case. So very easy to check as well and easy to remember. This feature is called the Smart Shadow. Easy to allow authentication of the document. So similar to for the ink, here you can see directly, you can see the green area in the transparent window, but on the shadow on the table, there is the opposite color which remain on this shadow. And if we move to a DSI, exactly the same features. You can see here on this area, you can see this is called the fluorescence of the ink, and it shows the pattern with the red color, and on the shadow it's remaining blue with a CST. Of course, this can be personalized or customized. It's a printing, so you can make the design that you want. So then in ID document, of course, to check a document with a UV lamp, it's quite standard, especially when this UV lamp is 365 nanometers. So here on the microfoil polycarbonate film, sorry, here, you can see as well with the UV lamp the fluorescence showing. So it's a very strong fluorescence. It's one of the characteristics of these molecules, which is highly fluorescent. Even after lamination, it's remained very, very strong. So if we move to the ink, same idea with the very strong fluorescence in different color shifts. So with a different UV response, which is green in this case. And the last one with the DSI. So here we combine the pattern as we have seen previously. So you can see with the fluorescence, you see the red fluorescence and also the pattern which appears in a green color under the UV lamp. So last level to be checked is level 3 with the lab equipment. You have a unique, what we call a unique DNA, because we have a unique emission and absorption spectrum, which makes this product easy to check in a lab with a lab equipment. So it's a forensic level of detection. So to sum up this product, one of our products, it's a very innovative and visual feature, which is very easy to integrate in the process of can manufacturer. So this is very important. And as I said, it's an agnostic solution which is available for all the players, and very easy to check. In different level, 1.5 with a smartphone and 2 and 3. So it's a complete solution which can secure the transparent window of ID document or other document. So thank you for your attention. And of course, if you have any question, please let me know.
Thank you so much for that. Yes, we do have some questions. So somebody from the audience, Musa Mabuto, has actually asked, why do you consider a smartphone not UV detection capable in your classification? Is it from an international norm of classification? And do we really need a separate UV model to use the CST software instead of a UV smartphone?
It's a good question. I think we can combine both. It's a solution that you can check with smartphone in level 1.5, which is not it's right on the standard specification like ISO 93.3. But we consider this as a combination of detection level 1, 2, 1.5 and 3 and 2. So we combine all of them, and we don't make a specific difference between both.
Okay, thank you. And so another question has been, is this security feature cost effective to be considered for protecting currency?
This is a very good question, because I didn't mention that in my presentation, but we focus also on the banknote activity, and we secure also banknote. So yes, it's a cost-effective solution. Just to give an idea where we are in terms of how we are placed in this market, we are between this kind of solution as a OVI and the hologram. So we are quite in the middle of this. So yes, we are cost effective for ID document, but also for banknote activity, banknote document, where we focus also our intention.
All right, it seems you sort of answered the other question where somebody's asked, is this only for ID cards?
No, it's not. It's not only for ID cards. It's for also we have application in banknote, and also, as I mentioned, we have application in paper where you have transparent window. There is more and more paper where you have transparent window. Not only in banknote there is, but also for other application, even for birth certificate, for example. You have now this kind of transparent window, and we aim to secure as well this kind of document. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, and so somebody in the audience has asked, what is the durability of this feature?
It's a very good question as well. So we have a very strong molecules here, because as I mentioned, we can embed these molecules into polycarbonate. So, and to produce polycarbonate, it goes up to 350 degrees. So it's very strong. And this is why we have a very important color fastness resistance. And with the person who asked this question, I can share some external report, but in terms of durability, we are higher than the standard ink used in this kind of business due to this high resistance of the molecules.
Okay. And one more question. Somebody has asked, Uri has asked, is this system applicable to forensic detection?
You mean, I think if the question is about level 3, yes, I think this is related to forensics. Yes, as I said, we have a specific lab equipment that where we can detect without destruction of the document, which is very important, the level 3 with lab equipment or forensic equipment. So yes, it's compatible with forensic expertise.
Okay. Yeah, thank you so much, Gautier, for that informative session of answering our questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mishka.
Okay, so before we move on, we would like to announce our sweep entry for those who are, for the African delegates who are playing the sweep entry contest to win an iPhone. So let me just share you the letter of the last letter of the day. The 8th sweep letter of the day is A.
La 8e lettre sweep du jour est le A.
And a reminder to those playing in the sweep entry contest to please save and record all of your letters. And now you can now enter it in the sweep. And that was the last letter of the day. Now is the time for you to enter it in the app. Before that, it would not have been recorded. So please do them all now at the same time. Thank you. Okay, so we have our last presenter from Biorugged, Werner Silliers. Did I pronounce your name correctly?
Close enough, Slier. Good evening all from South Africa, Johannesburg, one of the few African companies that is part of ID for Africa. we're really excited to be part of IDFA Africa and showcase what we've been doing the past 7 years. Once again, we've done a short video just to showcase 2 of our most exciting products that we've delivered recently in Africa and in South America. And I will start with a short video, and then we can go.
We cannot hear anything.
Okay, sorry about that. Let me just...
It's in the Zoom settings, so when you're sharing the screen, to make sure you can share the computer sound.
Yeah, so I'm just trying to find the settings quickly. Sorry, let's try that again.
There's still no sound. You could try starting a new share. Let me stop. And this time when you start sharing it, make sure to tick mark share computer sound at the bottom.
Good day. Thank you for joining Biorugged on this virtual IDFA Africa showcase. We want to show you our new products. Biorugged is a new dynamic young company that's been growing quite significantly in the past few years. We specialize in biometrics and rugged units in specific. We've done exceptionally well in 2020 with not only being able to source new products, but also manufacturing and delivering it during the lockdown period to our clients to enable our final users to continue their important work of registration and verification of the population.
For today's demonstration, we'll be focusing on 2 of our registration kits, namely the Mark 1 and the Biorugged 60 handheld unit. Starting with inputting of basic information. The Mark 1 is using a QWERTY keyboard in this laptop version, but can also be interchanged for other keyboards, versus the Biorugged uses its 8-inch screen and the keyboard upon that. Scanning documents like birth certificates and driver's licenses. Both the Mark 1 and the Biorugged 60 unit utilizes its 8 megapixel cameras with its own built-in light sources, using fixed parameter focusing on designated form sizes like A4 and A5 in this example enables quick and high quality scanning every time. Both unit utilizes a Sony 8 megapixel camera with integrated light source to take passport quality photos. The LED lights in the light source are not only able to increase and decrease light brightness, but can also change the color from bright white to warm white to adjust to a wide variety of skin tones we have on the African continent. Fingerprints are captured with integrated biometric Kojak FAB60 10 print finger scanner. This FBI certified scanner is environmentally rugged and works perfectly even in extreme temperatures. Readings are impervious to dirt, oil, moisture on the finger or on the film, and is not affected by bright or direct sunlight. The sign pad on the Mark I also doubles up as a high-definition viewing screen during registration. Client signs with a stylus pen on the Mark I while using their finger to sign on the Biorugged 60's touchscreen. Both units uses a high DPI thermal printer with water, oil and heat-resistant thermal paper to print out a receipt or a thermal card after registration.
Thank you for joining us on this journey. I would like to open the floor for Q&A. If you have any suggestions, comments or questions, please raise it to us now. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Werner. Thank you. Okay, so we're just going to check the Q&A. So one person has asked, is this a standard platform?
Yeah, not quite. So basically what we do is for each tender and each client, we actually look at the requirements and then we build for that requirements and for that rollout. We do anything from voter registration to KYC, know your customer. So it's used anything from banking to cell phone to actual voter registration and verification. So it's really based on a product per product basis. We don't really build the products and then sell it. We look at the requirements and then we build the products according to that requirements.
Okay, and so the thermal printing, is there any conditions that you did mention it is resistant to a lot of different situations, but is there any conditions that people should be aware of that where it may be affected?
Yeah, we've actually done a lot of research in thermal printing. Thermal printing has come a long way. The thermal printing paper that we're utilizing at the moment under severe African sun, so I'm talking about 38 to 45 degrees Celsius. In direct heat, our thermal printing can withstand 4 to 5 months of that extreme heat. The big thing is not really moisture as much as it is oil, and our paper that we utilize are oil resistant as well as with the heat resistance and so forth. This is really trying to reduce the cost effectiveness of the unit. There's always a market for, as we saw with the other people here tonight, for a permanent card, but there's also a big need for cost-effective temporary card or temporary receipt, and this is where this thermal printing meets the market there.
Okay, great. And so one audience member has asked, can you share where it has been used?
Because Biorugged is not we don't roll out under our own names. I can tell you that if you bought a mobile SIM card in Ghana or in Central or North Africa, you must probably use one of our devices. We've rolled out quite a few thousand. We've rolled out in South America and in 4 places in Africa. But we don't go under the name of Biorugged. We go under our primes, and they are our clients that actually takes this product of ours to market and also brings the software and bring the full solution to a halt. So for that instance, I'm saying Africa, but you're more than welcome to contact us one-on-one and we can share that information one-on-one. Our whole team is standing by, and if there's French speakers, we have a French-speaking person standing by as well.
Wonderful. Okay, so one other audience member has asked, how do you differentiate your solution versus other portable enrollment solutions?
I say it's basically the ease of use, weight. All our units are IP65, so it's cost, weight, and fit for purpose. What we've really done versus other units that's in the market, as I say, because we're making it fit for purpose, we don't have any additional add-ons that the client does not need. We actually make a unit specifically for his needs, and that reduces the costs, makes it a lot easier to handle, and makes it a more compact and cost-effective solution for the client.
Okay, and so one audience member has asked, what about data management and consolidation from multiple devices? Do you have a software device management platform, and how does data synchronization work?
Software is handled by our partners. So that is our leads, our lead partners that actually does the integration are software houses, and they do the integration for that. But the hardware does allow Wi-Fi, cell phone, Bluetooth, Ethernet connectivity between devices and also between devices and hosts. So we utilize our partner software to actually do that integration, but the hardware support whatever integration there is. Very important thing, I think, also where we have a point of difference is because we're a South African-based company, we actually know the African market and we understand what's going on a day-to-day basis. We are able to have multiple layers of connectivity for the different solutions because we understand that sometimes even if you have connectivity, it is interrupted as well. And that is where our hardware really complements our integrated software in that regard.
Great. And we have one last question. Can you speak about the battery life in typical daily operations?
So for example, our battery life on both units are 8 hours plus. Take into account, if I say 8 hours plus, that is full operation. That does not include taking tea breaks and lunch breaks, which my African colleagues will understand. We have full 8 hour plus integration on the batteries. All our units also come with solar power. So at no given point does any of my hardware need to see land power. We recharge via solar power, we operate via solar power, and the batteries are not just has a long lifespan, but also is really rugged, can take extreme heat, can take moisture, and is built to be moved around. A lot of other batteries doesn't have that capability, doesn't have that robustness that we've really invested in our battery technology.
All right, thank you so much, Werner. That was wonderful. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, everyone. Good evening.
And so that concludes our day one festivities.